Yes guys, welcome back to another video.
On this week's video we're going to be looking at the main games from the Premier League this weekend. Starting with Man U v West Ham and then on to Palace against City, followed by Liverpool v Chelsea.
Ole's at the wheel, tell me how does it feel? You're gonna win Liverpool the league. Right.
Quite finished now?
No. United this weekend. Talk to me.
Well, I'd be lying to say I was happy with the performance. It was not a great performance at all. It is concerning, to be fair, but then it's difficult because when you looked at them against West Ham on the weekend, they were poor. West Ham were arguably the better team for major parts of the game. Few lucky decisions went United's way, but they came away with 3 points, and that's what we needed. But then if you look at the game against Barca midweek, they looked like a decent team. After the first 15 minutes of getting drilled by Barca, United took control. They lacked the finishing touch, but then to go on from that straight onto West Ham and play like they did there, going into the second leg against Barca, I'm quite nervous.
Well, if you look at United throughout this course this season, and no matter who are the managers, you don't play good after Champions League games. No. And fair enough, this is your first win after a Champions League game. But it's uninspiring stuff. It's horrible. Like, to watch United play the way they're playing, they're getting dominated at home against a West Ham team. Chelsea made them look ordinary.
Do you not think West Ham are a team that will go like 6, 7, 8 games being absolutely shit, and then they'll just randomly turn up one game?
Yeah, they're hot and cold.
Have a good game, play well, and then just go another 6, 7 games playing shit.
Yeah, they are very hot and cold, but United, I don't know, they're hot and cold as well. You don't know what United you're going to get, and
and they're I think they're more cold at the minute, which is the worst thing. I think.
What do you think about maybe? Do you reckon you gave Ole the job too soon?
I think they should have waited to the end of the season. There was no harm in waiting. Everybody knew he was going to get the job anyway because of the start he had. I think if you look overall at his stats, they're still decent. But like you said, I would agree, they haven't necessarily played the best football, which you would think going forward, this is a team that will compete, to win titles, win trophies. But it's an all-important transfer window. That's what United need. There's going to be a big...
It's going to
be people go in.
It's going to be
new
massive.
People coming in. It'd be massive. I think if anyone's going to spend the most amount of money, you back United to be doing that.
Yeah, or Real Madrid. But if we're going back to this game straight away, next season, if this game was played next season and it went the same ways, obviously if buts and maybes, United would have been 1-0 down because that goal was onside. Obviously Anderson's goal was onside.
Yeah, no, it was.
And that's a completely different game. And you never know.
Well, so if VAR was in,
that goal would have stood.
Yeah.
And United's first penalty, I don't think it was a penalty.
No, I think it's a foul, but I'm not
outside
sure it's in the box. It's just outside, isn't it? But sometimes you got to take your luck with them things. Yeah, to be fair, Pogba still had to finish it. It wasn't the best penalty, but he did what he needed to. Second one, Stonewall pen. And whilst we're on the subject of VAR, I know there was a rule change, and if it's last man, that is it's a penalty. You stop the goal scoring opportunity. But for me, that's still a red card. In that situation, that needs to be a red.
But I get why the rule is there. You can't double discipline. It's like double discipline. You can't say, okay, we're going to give another team a penalty, and then your team's also going to get a red card. Like, you're getting a penalty.
But there's no option, is it? It's not like, what do you want him to have, a red, or do you want the penalty?
I think a red now is literally endangering your opponent, and obviously multiple fouls. But I think one foul, he didn't really endanger the opponent. Yeah, he gave away a penalty, and that's now deemed to be...
But I think it's just unfair if, Martial's through, he's one-on-one with the keeper, he's got the motion in his favour, the keeper's on there, but he's off his line, he's come out, all he's got to do is whip it round and put it in the corner. Whereas then from the spot kick, it's a different thing.
No,
You've got the pressure. In the moment, you haven't really got the time to think about the pressure.
You're still getting penalised. You're still getting penalised for the foul you've committed. You've given away a penalty. That is it. And that's why sometimes people will take giving away a penalty, because on the odd occasion, people miss penalties. Obviously, it happens all the time. So you kind of take it. And I get why red cards are there now. When you go to a football game, a lot of people would say if it's 10 v 11, it's not as more entertaining game. You want to see 11 v 11, but I'm not one with that, but a lot of people, most people and most referees, they want to see 11 players kept on the pitch, 12, 22 players on the pitch. So I kind of get why the rule is in there, and I can see where you're coming from. Gave away a penalty, you gave away, and but you never know. Martial might have fluffed his lines, so you can't really say.
No, he might have. But
you can't say he's definitely going to score.
His lines, and we'd gone on to draw that game, it would have been a completely different story as well.
Yeah, no.
I just think if you're deliberately taking someone out because you know if you don't they're going to score, then you shouldn't be on the pitch. You shouldn't get sent off for it.
But
because you're not even intentionally trying to play the ball.
Regardless of the point, West Ham deserved some of that game. Declan Rice was quality in that game. Declan Rice, the amount of time
of the season for him, I would say.
Yeah, he's up there definitely. The amount of times he recovered the ball and launched attacks for West Ham, like they were playing so well with like Lanzini and Anderson. They played quality, and I felt so sorry for him because United was shocking. United have been shocking for ages, and I don't know. I don't have a little rant about Ole, but at the same time, I do. He if I was a United fan, I would not be happy with him as my permanent manager. I wouldn't trust him with a kitty.
But
and
you can't be judging him when he's not even half season in to being in charge. In all competitions, 23 games, 5 losses, 2 draws.
Yeah, but the wins that he's got, lucky.
Wins.
The wins he's look like. You really happy with your performance against Southampton at home, Burnley at home,
no,
Watford at home? Watford at home, you got battered.
Got to be able to give him time to build the squad he wants.
Yeah, but
what his vision is for that club.
But with the way I'm watching it, I can't see him tactically changing something in a game. Like they're talking about getting a director of football in to help him make decisions because he's not experienced enough to get, obviously, the whole package. They want him to coach the team. They're going to get people to obviously buy players for him to help him out. They've obviously got Sir Alex Ferguson. He's doing something in the wings. He's travelled with the squad to Barcelona. He's doing something in the wings. He's not just doing that director of football role or whatever, like the head director role, whatever he is at United. He's doing something different now. Ole's there.
Yeah, definitely. 5-0.
5-0, mate. Taking Ole away. He's a fraud. Ole's a fraud. You hear it?
You're full of it. Absolutely.
He's a fraud. He's coming. No, but I think he'll get found out. I do honestly think he'll get found out. Because I can't see him changing the game tactically. United have so much to do. They have so much to do. If they get rid of Pogba, and Herrera might go, Matic ain't good enough, that is probably your free starting centre midfield, like your midfield free. You need a whole new free. Realistically, you don't want to go into next season with Smalling and Lindelof as your 2 centre back. You'll take Lindelof. Young, Valencia and Darmian all have to go, so you need a new right back. Realistically, the balance in your squad up front with Rashford, Lukaku and Martial going through up front, it's so unbalanced. You need proper out-and-out wingers. And Martial, he's a good winger, and I would put him there. But again, you still look at him thinking he wants to be the number 9. He wants to be the number 9 striker. And Lukaku, you push him out wide, but he's a number 9. That's what he's played. And Rashford, again, he can play all of them. You need the actual balance. So you need a massive overhaul. And do you actually think Ole's the guy for that big job?
Yeah.
You do.
I do.
I don't get
the only reason why is because I think he has the way of the club built into him. It's like his second nature.
But it's changed now. I think the whole scale of the club, the whole scale of the market's changed.
It's like you saying, how you grew up, what's drilled into you as a person. You might change, but them basic morals will stay with you forever.
Yeah, I get that.
Just like him as a manager, he's brought that back to the club. They're back to what he do. Yeah, he needs to get the shit out the door.
So much shit.
Yeah, and bring some good in to build it back up. But there is potential to have a great squad. I think he shows it because he's willing to play everyone. You're getting players like Fred, who's starting massive games. He had a great game against Barcelona. Goes and plays West Ham, and he's absolutely wank.
Yeah.
McTominay, massive game against Barcelona. Best game he's probably ever had in his career. But then, does he play against West Ham?
No, because obviously
he's resting him for Barcelona again.
Yeah.
But you can't, in my opinion, you can't now play Fred against Barcelona after his performance against West Ham, because it's just not acceptable. With that level of club, you can't be playing like that and then still be starting your next game. We've been speaking about it a lot today and past the last couple of days of what signings United need realistically to get them to a place where they can compete. They've got great talent and potential in some of the players they've got there already.
Yeah.
They're just not really playing to their form of what they should be. Look at Martial, he's a great player. He could arguably, for me, be one of the best wingers in the league within the next couple of seasons, but he has to play. He needs to play every game. He can't be coming on as a sub or playing every other game. He needs that game time to get him to where he needs to be. I do agree with you with the Rashford and Lukaku situation. Lukaku, does he play up front? For me, personally, and I told you this earlier, I would like to see Rashford playing off Lukaku. Because Lukaku will win everything in the air, as he does. He still needs to be in an attacking role, but almost with Rashford playing off him, he can nod the ball down to him. Rashford's got the pace to get in behind, but he never seems to do it. They always seem to push one out on the wing.
Because I think if you play them together, you play that diamond in midfield. You have to play that diamond in midfield. But then
you've got to have the right players in the mid to make sure you're protected.
Yeah.
Defensively going backwards as well.
But then you're so narrow, but then you try and play like other players, and it just like this is. I just don't feel there's balance in the team. Like overall,
no, I don't.
I don't think.
And
realistically,
a true balance, but it needs. That's what we're saying. That we need signings in the summer and get rid of a load of players, because I think the direction he's trying to go with it and what his vision for the team is, he doesn't have the squad to do that at the minute. But he needs to get the players in. So time will tell, won't it? As soon as that transfer window comes,
then you get the players in. He's getting. I judge him already, and I'm not a United fan. But as soon as that transfer window bell goes, as soon as give him the transfer window, and then the first 10 games of the season next season, you'll see if he's done well. But I think it's a massive, massive job. And if you give it to him, and he's an experienced manager, managed to got Cardiff relegated, gone back to Mould, managing the Norwegian league, if you want to give him that job, you have to prepare to not. You're not challenging for the next couple of years, I reckon. You're not, because realistically, if you have to get rid of all those players, where do you actually think you're challenging next season? I reckon your aim next season is top 4 again. You're not challenging for the league again. You're not on Liverpool, Man City. It's top 4 again.
In this first season,
it's top 4.
Transfer windows probably will be top 4, but. You talk about a big name manager, like they're going to come in and work wonders. We did that with Jose. Did he work wonders? No. Huge name. One of the biggest names out there as a manager. Come in, pretty much did fuck all.
Won you a European title?
Well, yeah, Europa League.
Still
but
won.
Never won it. So
I get. But you brought in a big name manager like Mourinho, where his philosophy is outdated. You needed to go get someone like Poch. I've been saying for ages, Poch is your number 1 guy. Should have went and got him, but he didn't. But personally, I think that's enough on United. Yeah. We need to move on. Other games.
I think you're a bit unfair. I think you need to sort of give him a chance. Give him his season after a transfer window. If we can sit here after 10 games of next season and they're still in a position where you think they haven't gone forward at all, then I'll put my hands up and accept it. But I think you're in for a little shock. Right, moving on. Let's go on to Palace against City. What do you think of the game?
Well, I really thought it was going to be a difficult task. Palace being at home, obviously, and Spurs. City have cocked up against Palace before, and already this season. But from the game, from me watching it, it was a formality. Only one team came to win that game, and you would have thought the home team, being obviously, they don't have too much to play for, but they can. A lot of teams always want to have a say in the title race.
Yeah.
And Palace, I thought at home would do it, but they just got until the second half. Nothing for them. They didn't start playing until they went 2-0 down, and the game was done. So it was really a formality for City. They won the game, and the star of the show again was Raheem Sterling. Raheem, your boy for player of the season.
My boy for player of the season, 100%. I think the class he showed yesterday was out of this world. It shows how far he's come as a player. He's now, for me, he's a natural goal scorer.
Yeah.
100%. Whereas years ago, his problem was he couldn't score.
I get what you're saying when you say he's a natural goal scorer, but the first attempt that he had, dragged it wide, pulled back, dragged it wide, and you think, come on, mate.
You've had a few games yourself. Sometimes you just got to get your aim in.
I'm not a professional player, mate, but
you put 5 or 6 wide, and then you get 1. So.
Yeah, but it's a numbers game.
Honestly, I think, like you said, going into the game, for me, Palace, this season, they're one of them teams where they're a bit up and down, but you always fancy them to have a chance. I don't know why. There's just always that something in them where
they've got a few good players.
If they show up on a day, do you know what I mean? They can probably compete with some of the big clubs in the league.
Definitely. They've got some really good, technically gifted players, 100%. But the thing that, going back onto Raheem Sterling, making him think he's he's come to that next level now. What makes me feel that he's definitely coming, because he took that big miss. It was a big miss because it came to him and he had basically the whole goal to slot it in, and he missed. But the best thing about it, his goal afterwards, the way he took his goal, he literally just wrapped it in over the keeper. Keeper went down onto his knees like that. What was he doing? But Raheem Sterling
have that maturity now in his play.
Yeah,
to be able to miss a chance
and then go on,
score
2,
brush it off, go on and score 2. And he had a great game as well as scoring 2. He didn't just
and his stats this season are ridiculous now. Like he's got something like 21 goals and 30 assists in 40 odd games.
I get the whole Van Dijk hype and how
Van
good
Dijk's
he's been, but
my player of the season because the impact
English grown player. And he just had a great season. I think you can't be ignored. He deserves it this year.
No, he's been really, really good. And if he gets it, there's going to be no one's going to be like. Everyone's going to feel a little bit sorry for Van Dijk because I think everyone's saying Sterling for player of the season also feels that Van Dijk's definitely got a valid claim for being player of the season. I think Van Dijk should get it.
Well, just they voted for each other. Right?
Yeah,
Van Dijk said Sterling,
and Sterling said Van Dijk.
Fair, who's going to sit there and say, "No, I'll play the season"?
Yeah, no, exactly. I think it should be up there, but I just think Van Dijk only because he's made a bigger impact into one team.
Yeah,
his impact has made Liverpool that much better. Whereas I feel Raheem Sterling, he's a great player in a great team surrounded by loads of other great players. Which I'm not saying Liverpool aren't a great team.
No,
but
I agree with
Van Dijk's got
he's the difference for Liverpool.
Yeah.
He's what they've needed for seasons. For quite a few seasons, they've needed a solid centre back that can just boss it for them.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what he brings to the table. But I do think this season especially, there's been games where Sterling is pretty much ran the show for season.
Yeah. And he's
without him, he isn't, and he's not an expendable player for Pep. You will want to play him every game.
No, yeah, he's the first name on the team sheet, I reckon now, which is good, But honestly, he's not the best player in that team. This season, he's probably the best.
You wouldn't say technically he's the best player in the team, but then I probably wouldn't say technically Van Dijk's the best player in the Liverpool squad.
I don't know.
As a player, for someone of his age who's still quite young, it seems like he's been around for years and years, which he arguably actually has, isn't he? To be fair, he had a couple of seasons at Liverpool.
He's been there since 16.
Onto City, and he's great there. Now he's arguably one of the best players in the league.
And here's a great stat for you: his first ever Premier League goal gets Reading.
Was it?
There
you go. Still bitter about that one.
Proud of that one. Proud of it.
But look at him now. He's actually grown into that person. Early start of his career, you could see things which you thought, he needs to improve on that. He won't be class unless he works on that. But he has. He's took it all on, and that's why he deserves it. We should have given it. But I think we're coming away from Crystal Palace. So
we can bumlick Raheem Sterling as much as we want. He's been amazing this season. But if we're analysing that game just a little bit more, realistically, Benteke up front, 3 goals in 46 games or whatever it is, shocking.
Not great.
And if you were at home, why not? You've got Michy Batshuayi on the bench. I know they're going up for a bit more hold-up play, and Thingy likes to get Michy Batshuayi in behind and obviously a lot more than actually holding it up.
But he's a handful, isn't he?
He's a handful still.
He's going to cause City problems, which would then possibly stop them attacking so much because they think we haven't really got the opportunity to leave our back open so much.
Exactly. It gives them more of a threat. There's no goal threat when it comes to... Because realistically...
you're just going for a long ball.
I really rate Wilf Zaha, but again... But his goal scoring stats, he's not great at all. There's nothing to write home about his goal scoring.
Well, but then, like you said, there's loads of talented players in that squad. Yeah. Like Townsend, arguably not having a bad season.
No, but he got benched in Max Meyer, who's a really good player.
Yeah,
I think he could easily be starting it. But one player I actually do think that's destined, that could play in the top 6, just maybe a fringe player, or he should be. Milivojevic is a great player.
Oh,
he's quality.
Was there any part of you nervous when he got his penalty and scored it?
What you mean? What against C?
Yeah.
No, it's free kick, wasn't it? He scored his free kick. Free kick. Sorry, no. It was a bit like I saw his. No one. If you talk about his penalties, I can see why you thought he scored a penalty.
Because he always scores penalties.
He's got so many penalties.
He don't miss them, does he? But
no, but his obviously it was right outside the box anyway, and he just whipped it in, and it was a shocking wall. Bernardo, 2 of the players in the City thing just broke away and just whipped it into the thing. So, no, it was really close to the box. But no, he's a great player. He could take the way he strikes the ball.
top 6. Do you think that's a bit of a stretch?
Well, no, because he's playing in. He's up.
Well,
He's one of the standout
what squad
players.
was you putting him in then? The ones in the top 6 at the moment.
Squad.
City, Liverpool.
Squad, like not starting 11. Squad.
Okay, so as like a sub.
Yeah, as a squad player.
Okay.
United, you're getting United centre midfield.
On the bench, yeah.
I don't know, the way he can dictate a game.
To be fair,
I'd rather,
you'd probably be picking him over Fred and McTominay at the minute.
and I'd rather be picking him than Matic.
Yeah.
So he'll get in your starting lineup, letting him squad. I like Milivojevic, but that's just a big shout. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know if anyone agrees with me.
Maybe.
But I like Milivojevic. That might be a quick. No, it sounds like
sometimes it's easy to stand out at. I don't want to say smaller club.
well, compared to Man United, yeah, of
club,
course,
yeah.
you're under the microscope when you're at United.
Exactly. Every game, them players they're expected to be the best players in the world.
Yeah,
Every game.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas then
they have 2-3 bad games. It does.
Think, they should probably get a draw, if not lose.
And if they have 2-3 bad games, it doesn't really happen. If Pogba has 2-3 bad games, he's thinking
worst player in the world.
Yeah, selling. Yeah, is it? No, exactly.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But
like you said, let's start talking about the Palace, the actual City game. Yeah. When I first saw the fixture, I thought this is where City could slip up here. This City could actually drop some points.
Yeah.
But for the first 60 minutes, it was just a formality. City were winning that game.
It was.
And then after they went 2-0 down, they came out and threw a few a bit. But it's not what I was expecting from Palace in that game, and it was a bit of disappointment because I want Liverpool to win the league. But it's that's how I felt about the game. It weren't that fun to watch. It wasn't that
wasn't that great. It was nice to see Sterling playing.
It was good to see Sterling get. I always want Sterling to score goals.
But I see what you mean. It wasn't the most exciting thing. But
no.
I agree. Going into the game, I think for me, every game at the minute, City and Liverpool, every game, I think what they could drop a point here.
Yeah, you thought against the Saints game.
Yeah, and I was close.
People
would say, what was it, 70th minute? It's still 1-1.
Yeah.
Saints take a lead. Nobody saw that coming, did they? But
yeah.
So I think that's how dangerous it is, especially at a time of the year where you are going to come up against teams that, if they haven't already been relegated, are fighting to make sure they don't get relegated.
Yeah.
Which then, what they're possible of doing is anything because they're fighting for their lives.
And then moving on to a team that I think should get relegated because I'm joking. It was Liverpool versus Chelsea.
Chelsea relegated.
Yeah, I'd hope them to get relegated, but
I
no.
But mainly, all my in-laws are Chelsea fans, so I just love it just to be able to give them shit. But
yeah, and they've
see, that was quite a nice game to watch.
Oh, mate. First half was a game of chess, and Chelsea and Liverpool both played really well.
Either team could take it.
Oh, mate, they both.
You were thinking Chelsea could end their hope of winning the season. You think it's going to happen? I can't see it.
It's looking more likely, but
it's in City's hands, isn't it?
It's still in City's hands, obviously. But just talking about the Liverpool-Chelsea game. What a game! It was a great game. Obviously, it was a great 2 goals.
It was a great game.
It was great 2
great goals. It's always going to be a great game.
It was a good game. And realistically, the game, like I said, it was a game of chess. Chelsea played really well. If they went 1-0 up at half time, you wouldn't really have any complaints. But the same thing with Liverpool. But it's weird when you see a game where their 2 teams both play really well in the first half. You normally see one team dominate another.
Yeah, one sort of hangs on to half time.
Exactly. But they both played. They both played really well. But
I think for us, because it's been a massive subject that we've touched on quite a lot, is you probably overheard today. We were talking to a guy at work, and he was banging on about Hazard had a great game, and he did so many dribbles. He looked quality. Nobody's going to deny the fact that he is arguably one of the best dribblers with the ball at his feet in the world.
He's up there. He's up there.
World class, but
world class at dribbling.
I don't think he had a great game for me personally. He never seems to make a difference.
He had a good game when he came out on the left, which I don't know. I don't blame him. He's thrown little tantrums in the past, or he's come out to the media and says he doesn't like playing through the middle. So I don't get. I know he's had a few really good games when he's played through the middle against Liverpool, and he scored some great goals. But Hazard's the best player when he's running at players, not when he's got his back to goal.
That's why he should be on the wing.
Yeah, that's why he should be on the wing. Not when
he's a winger.
Not when he's got his back to goal when he's trying to hold the ball up and bring other players into play.
No, because all that happens then is he gets the ball, has a little turn, he gets brought down straight away. and then it just breaks the player all the time.
He's best when he's got that little turn of pace, little drop of shoulder, and he just turn.
There's no one better at it either, dropping that shoulder.
And the way his low centre gravity, he gets ridiculous. Exactly. But so he looked a lot better in the second half. When unfortunately Callum Hudson-Odoi probably had one of his worst games I've seen him have. Like he really didn't play that well. So I can see why. And when they changed it up and they put a proper number 9 through the middle was Higuain.
Yeah.
And then obviously you had Hazard back up.
No Demba Ba, was it?
Proved
that.
Yeah, he get that slim moment. But
Alright, man.
Hazard on the left, he looked really good. But we're taken away from the fact that happened when they were 2-0 down and he had to go for something. We've skipped out the whole part of where the first 10-15 minutes of that half only one team. The first half was a game of chess and they both looked really good. The first 15 minutes of the Liverpool-Chelsea game in the second half, one team looked like they were winning a game, and from the start of that
whatever he said at half time.
Oh mate,
was basically
and
if you want to win the league, you need to go out there and win this game.
Who did we hail last time in the Saints game?
Jordan
Henderson. He epitomises intensity now.
Yeah, I got to admit, look, even I was looking at him thinking, where has he got this fitness from?
Oh, mate, honestly,
he just seems to be everywhere.
He's an engine,
constantly sprinting, chasing things down, following it. And that little chip was...
Oh, mate, it's literally Masters weekend and he pulled out a little chip in the back post. Literally.
Beautiful, but...
The assist, it was unreal. Mane couldn't miss. He put it on a plate for him. And the way he just gets around, he's winning. Oh, Salah scored an unreal goal. We'll get onto that. But Jordan Henderson is winning Liverpool games. He's literally winning them games.
He's being the difference when they need a difference.
Yeah, exactly.
When they're not in a game and they're not bossing it and they're sort of... they've got all the play. Because normally on a Liverpool game, they've got all the play, they're attacking, it's just not quite happening. He just seems to come out of nowhere the last couple of games and just make that difference. And get them to where they need to be. And then obviously Salah, what can you say about that? Just turned, bang, in.
Salah, he's...
Top corner. It seemed like it didn't even move. It was just literally
a
rocket.
I know. They're getting compared so much now, Hazard and Salah together. Who would you have? I would rather have a productive player rather than a skillful player. Yeah. And Salah is more productive than goal wise. I know he doesn't chip in with any assists, but the amount of runs he does to take defenders away from the ball. And now where this season compared to last season, where people are actually leaving players on him. It's freeing up. That's why Mane's scoring so many more goals this season as well. Because people are more worried about Salah. It's not his first season. So he might not get as many assists as what Hazard gets. He scores many goals and he drags off as many defenders. And he opens up more opportunities for players like Mane and Firmino to score. So Salah this season, everyone said he's not having a great season. He's joint top goal scorer in the Premier League.
Yeah. But we touched on this, didn't we? Because when you have such a good season the year before, you're judged on reflecting that in another way. So you might get close to it. But if you're not better than it, people are always going to judge you that, he's not having a great season. They're basing it on what you've done before.
No, yeah, of course, yeah.
Whereas if you put it on someone who's just, not had a great season before, comes out, bangs a few goals, gets a few assists, he's having a class season, he's class. So I do feel sorry for him. I think that's why he don't get many assists. He doesn't get as many as other midfielders because I think he feels the pressure, and we've said it before, that he needs to go out there and perform every game, get his goals, get his stats up, just to try and compete with what he's done.
This is his first season where he's properly feeling any sort of pressure, where he's actually expected him to do. Because when it was his first season in the Prem back, not his first, but his second season, obviously not counting the Chelsea one.
Okay.
It was more of anticipation, not pressure. We was waiting to see, he scored so many goals. Yeah, what can he do? We've seen him score so many different goals at Fiorentina with Roma. He's playing really well. Will he do it in the Premier League? And did he do it?
And it wasn't added pressure, I think, for him, is because he was at Chelsea, didn't do really anything there.
Yes, and there's a little bit of pressure. There was a little bit of pressure when he came back because obviously he's already added.
You're always going to have it, didn't you? Where you failed at something, and you come back, people are just going to expect you to fail again.
No, of course.
You've already proved that you're going to fail there, but he didn't, and he's flew ever since, and now he's a class player. But I think just the added pressure that Liverpool, how long it's been for them to win the Premier League title, and they're in the best position they've been in ages. They've got this season, and he's the man. Him, Mane, Van Dijk are probably
Yeah,
three
three
players
standout
where
players.
everybody thinks
Jordan Henderson.
that's who's going to win you the title.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jordan Henderson. But yeah, so I think that pressure is massive, and you got to feel sorry for the guy in a way, but he gets paid enough, so get on with it, mate. You know what I mean? And he does. What a finish it was. So
Yeah, his
fair
finish
play
was
to them.
big.
They were the better team all round on the day.
Yep, deserved to
Fair
win
play
the
to
game.
Chelsea, they actually did show up, which was nice to see because a lot of the times they'd stay at home. But
No.
you know, but there's one player I think that we haven't given mention, and he's growing on me. I just think one day I'd love him at United, to be honest, and that's Loftus-Cheek. I think he is a great player, and I think the more and more he gets played, starts game, and gets that time underneath his belt, he could boss in midfield.
Yeah, he's going to be a great asset to any team, I reckon. Any, like you said, top 6 team, anyway. Any of them. So no, can't disagree. It was a great weekend of football.
To be fair. But as ever, the race for the title will go on. So looking at their fixtures, which we've been talking about pretty much all day.
Yeah, are you going against me? Are you going against me? You still think it's City's league?
Mate, my heart rules my head, so I'm going with City to still win it. I fully agree, though, that they have got a much tougher run. They've got Tottenham and United all within 1 week. Obviously, Champions League, onto the Premier League, and then United in the Premier League as well. But that's in the space of 7 days. That's 3 massive games to play.
But Liverpool got Cardiff, Huddersfield, Newcastle, and Wolves.
Yeah, so
I think Wolves is their last
Wolves
go.
is the danger game.
It's danger, but realistically, there's their last game of season. Wolves' season will be ended by then. Their season will end by then. They'll have nothing to play for.
Yeah, but I see what you're saying, but I don't think you can put it down to that, because if you're a professional club, you play to win every game anyway.
Yeah, of course you do. But
if you get to a point where
put it this
the
way,
last game of the season, Liverpool are top by a point or two, and they've got Wolves going into that game. If they get a draw or win, then they've won the league. Think how massive that game would be.
Captain of Wolves, Connor Cody, Liverpool fan.
Oh, drop him for the game, man, please. Come on.
Yeah, but no. Yeah.
No, I don't know. I think I've said to you already. If they beat Spurs City, then they'll win the league.
No, I said it again. United will win the league. Force Liverpool. Yeah. And
we're going to play, literally, Tony Marshall, Rashford, Lingard, and Fred in defence against City. Yeah, why not? Let them in.
Pacey back four, mate.
No, it's tough. Like I said, I don't want City to do a quadruple. If we're playing for top 4, then of course go out, win it, get the points, we'll get a draw.
You will be playing for top 4.
You
still have 3 games after that game. You'll still be playing for top 4.
Yeah, no, exactly.
You have to win it.
But it's tough because I don't want Liverpool to win it. So.
Yeah, but you want Ole to get top 4.
Yeah. But ideal situation would be for Liverpool to drop points and then us go and beat City and it don't matter as much. So I'm just hoping. You don't know. You have to wait and see. I wouldn't bet against Liverpool though. Just saying.
Well, we'll be
watching with anticipation.
Exactly so. So thanks for watching. Remember what you got to do.
Hit like.
Hit share.
And subscribe.
Cheers guys. See you in a bit.
See you soon.